Without a doubt, Bluey is the most watched canine cartoon of recent years.
Oh, you got me!
But did you know that the version of the show we all watch and love is completely different from the 2 pilot episodes of Bluey released a few years ago? For instance, did you know that McKenzie was actually a completely different character? In the first pilot episode of Bluey, Bandit takes the main character to play at the neighborhood park when 2 of Bluey's friends show up. These friends are characters we recognize from the official series, Rusty and McKenzie. At first glance, anyone watching the video wouldn't notice much that's different or wrong until suddenly Rusty transforms into McKenzie. You might be thinking, what? How's that possible? Let us explain. Bluey sees her friends arriving at the park and calls out to McKenzie, who we all know as the black and white border collie. But in the 2016 pilot, the one who answers Bluey is actually a red Kelpie, who in the official show we would later come to know as Rusty. This happens because the border collie didn't yet have a defined name, and the show's creator thought the name McKenzie suited Rusty, who wasn't even called Rusty back then. Strange, isn't it? So, do you think you know all the differences between the official episodes and their first versions? Moments like this and many others are what you're about to see. Welcome to another episode of Cinewave. One of the most unique things about Bluey is its opening sequence. It's so special that it was designed to make us want to dance. But did you know that the opening has different versions? As most Bluey fans probably already know, there were 2 pilot episodes made for the TV series, one in 2016 and another in 2017. Because of this, the opening evolved between these pilots and the official version. Let's take a look at the 2016 opening. The first idea from Ludo Studios, the show's production company, was to feature Bluey doing a single dance move where she shakes her hips. The background is a blue shade leaning toward purple, and the title's font is different from the official one. Additionally, the music in this version is played on string instruments, probably basses and guitars, and it's actually a well-known song called Pinball Les by the Australian band Custard. Interestingly, the band is from Brisbane, the same city where Bluey is set. Another difference is that at the very end of the song, we hear Bluey barking, something that doesn't happen in the official version. Now let's check out the 2017 opening. The music remains the same as the Australian band's track, but the blue background changes, as does the title font. Additionally, both McKenzie and Rusty appear dancing in this version, and Bluey's barks are still present. I must admit, all versions of Bluey's opening makes me want to dance. In the 2016 pilot, we see Bandit taking Bluey to the park in a stroller. This detail seems odd because Bluey is a 6-year-old puppy in the official series. This happens because the show's creator, Joe Brumm, originally planned for Bluey to be much younger in the first versions of the show. However, this idea was scrapped because it would make Bingo even younger, which would limit the kinds of games and activities they could do together. Additionally, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, or ABC, the channel that airs Bluey before Disney, didn't want Bluey to be so young. In the pilot, there's a scene where Bluey is pushed quite forcefully on a swing, which could send the wrong message to kids. There are also some differences in the body design of the characters, but let's start by focusing on Bluey. In the 2016 pilot, Bluey is not only shorter but also has a boxier design compared to the official version, where her body is rounder and slightly larger. Additionally, her nose in the pilot has a purplish hue and is pointier. The spots on her back also differ from the official version. In the pilot, she has 6 spots, including a larger Mickey Mouse-shaped mark on her back, while in the official version, Bluey has only 3 small spots that resemble the Disney mascot. Now let's look at her face. The Bluey we know has a blue patch on her face that transitions into a light purple shade. However, in the pilot, this area looks much more like Bandit's coloring, with a dark blue shade so deep it almost appears black. And although this is a minor detail, if you look closely at the character's eyebrows and belly in the 2016 pilot, you'll notice the color is so light it looks white, but it's actually a much paler blue than in the official series. By the 2017 pilot, Bluey's design was much closer to the version we're familiar with. Would you be different from who you are today? Ask your parents and comment with #Bluey so we can get to know ya! Beyond everything we've already discussed, we can also see that Mr. Healer has different designs in the 2 pilots. Like Bluey, he's boxier and shorter than the official version. His eyebrows are white, and his expression is slightly more serious, making him seem less fun than the Bandit we know today. This was intentional, as Papa Healer was initially envisioned as a father who didn't pay much attention to his pups, something the Australian Broadcasting Corporation didn't want to promote, so the concept was removed from the show. By the 2017 version, we can see that Bandit didn't yet have the darker patch covering half his face, making him look more like his younger brother, Stripe. Do you think Bandit changed his look because he doesn't think his brother is handsome?
This is the worst!
What's interesting is that Chile was also going to be different. Since we only see her version in the 2017 pilot, it's hard to say whether Ludo Studios had a different Chile in mind before that. But let's analyze the character who was to be the family's mother. Notice that she doesn't have the dark patch on the side of her face, and the light yellow coloring on her muzzle extends up to a part of her head between her eyes. Additionally, she's missing the white fur accents that in the official version indicate she's a mature adult. Could it be that the idea was for Chile to appear younger than Bandit? Even the youngest member of the family didn't escape having a different version. Notice that the official Bingo has just one large spot on her back, but the 2017 Bingo has several dark orange spots, suggesting she was designed to be a mirror image of her mom. You might not know this, but the 2017 pilot episode corresponds to Weekend, the 6th episode of Season 1. This is because that story was originally written to be the first episode of the season, but Joe Brum swapped it with Magic Xylophone. This doesn't mean there aren't changes to the setting, so let's check out the differences. In the official version, the story starts with a shot of the Healer family home, and Bingo is eating some kind of cereal from a green bowl with stars. But in the pilot, she's eating something more like porridge from a plain light green bowl without stars. In both episodes, the characters are in the kitchen, but it seems like a completely different house because the table is different. In the pilot, the table is light blue, while in the official version, it's an unpainted wooden table. Both versions feature a glass jug with a cup next to it, but in the pilot, it's a water jug, whereas in the official version, it's some kind of juice. Now look at the rest of the kitchen. In the pilot, the walls are white and plain, with only a clock for decoration. In the official version, there's a large window that offers a view of the backyard. Additionally, in the pilot, the kitchen has a door in the background, while in the official version, there's a green cupboard next to the window. In both versions, Bluey appears holding a note to deliver a drumstick to Bandit, but in the pilot, the drumstick is pink, while in the official version, it's green. Know what you can deliver to us? Your subscription to the channel! Don't forget to hit the notification bell too! Returning to the pilot, in the living room, we can see that the front door is a double door with a screen to keep insects out. The walls are still white, and the windows lack the green glass decorations we see in the official version. If you look closely at the picture frame beside the door, you'll notice a portrait of a character who has never appeared in the series. Nobody knows who this character is, and from the photo, it's unclear if they're even a healer. The TV room also has notable differences. In the official version, there's a red couch, a wall behind it, and a white door. But in the pilot, the couch is white. There's no furniture behind the TV, and you can see a large window in the background. Another difference in this scene is how Bandit carries the kids. In the pilot, he holds Bingo on his right side and Bluey on his left, but in the official episode, it's reversed. What do you think the significance of these changes is at Ludo Studios? Still looking at the setting, the exterior of the Healer house is also quite different. The stairs leading to the garden were much larger in the pilot, even curving at one point. The front of the house also lacked the beautiful shrubs we see in the official version. That was a great improvement, Chile. Plants really do make a house more beautiful. The tree where Bingo finds the leaf insect is also very different. In the official version, it's a small tree that produces berry-like fruit, while in the pilot, it has no fruit at all. You can also notice that Bingo's muzzle was longer in the pilot, which made her look much older. There are two animation errors in the 2016 pilot that, if they were part of an official episode, would certainly make the list of Bluey bloopers. Let's take a closer look at the two little dog characters who appear. Both errors happen in quick succession. When Bandit pushes Bluey so hard on a swing that she goes all the way around, Rusty and McKenzie jump excitedly to celebrate, but their eyes seem to stay behind, resulting in a very strange look. The second error involves the color of the Border Collie, who, as we've mentioned, wasn't yet named McKenzie. Notice that the character's hands are white, and when he jumps into the air, his hands blend with the white clouds in the sky, making it look like they've disappeared. We know his hands are still there, and that the animators didn't forget to color them, but in animation, this is a big mistake. The colors blending creates the impression that the Border Collie has no hands. Ideally, there should have been something to provide contrast, or the jump should have been avoided. Speaking of McKenzie, we can also note that his colors were different in this pilot. Originally, Bluey's future crush had one white paw and one black paw. However, in the pilot version, he had two white paws. Additionally, McKenzie's floppy ear in the official version is his left ear, but in the pilot, it was his right. You know what hasn't changed? Having you here on the channel. That's why we've picked 2 more videos for you to watch. There's still so much more to talk about when it comes to Bluey, so we'll see you in the next video.